Hello everyone. Hope you are all in the best of spirits, health and disposition. I am Sumaya Alansari and welcome to a new video of Quest of Truth. This week I was just going through the synoptic key of Materia Medica authored by Dr. Cyrus Maxwell Boger. And I came across the foreword to the book. I was quite astonished by the simplicity and richness of the content. I mean, right from case taking to case processing, through working on the case and to the administration of medicine and things like that was given so accurately and precisely. I thought it would be quite helpful for me, firsthand of course, and I thought let's share with you. So here I am. So let's start with the word by word dissection of Boger's synoptic key. Beginning with the first line, it states that the correct prescribing is the art of carefully fitting the pathogenetic symptoms to the clinical symptoms, which at present requires a special aptness in grasping the essential points of the symptom images. 2. Great drudgery in mastering the large materia medica and skillful use of books of references. And this is helped by analytical method or synoptic key method. Dr. C.M. Boger states that the essence or the spirit of clinical symptoms of a patient is acquired by asking the patient to tell his own story. So the clinical symptoms we could best ascertain by asking the patient to tell his own story, which will be defined and amplified, the problem would be defined and amplified by the physician or the questioner by following the 5 steps or covering the 5 things. The first point is the cause and the course of the sickness. Elicit evident cause and course of sickness. It is a morbid phenomenon which is either told by the patient, presented or expressed by the patient, or remarked by those around him, or observed by the physician himself. While in these phenomenon we understand the cause as well as the evolution or course of the sickness. Under the preface to BBCR, Boger's, Bonninghausen's characters, Materia Medica and Repertory, Boger makes it quite clear that the pathological explanations and speculations as such are too far removed to be of any help in the practical method to therapy or cure. Okay, so the cause or the course of sickness that we are talking about here is not the speculations of what might be occurring in the unseen realms or interior of the organism. The cause are the evident things, the cause and effect chain that we can see. Those are the causes that are pointed towards here, and the course of sickness being the evolution, which symptoms came first and which next. So from the words course of sickness, we understand that the succession of events that occurred with exact precision of which event came first and which event came next. This is the course of sickness. Addition of all the things that seems to interfere with the sufferer's comfort. Under this, we are going to predominantly cover all the modalities, may it be mental or physical. Under physical modalities, all the things that might be covered is touch, temperature, open air, pressure, then discharges, sleep, motion, eating, drinking, touch, posture, etc. And under mental state, it's quite notable that Dr. C.M. Boger gives so much stress and importance to 3 root emotions, which are irritability, fear and sadness. All the other emotions will be just the combinations or permutations or decrease or increase of these core emotions. Next comes the patient's own descriptions of his sensations. What's again remarkable is that Dr. C.M. Boger puts forward the primary sensations that he thinks is supposed to be present most of the times Not invariably, but it is present most of the times. And if one of these are present, it usually overshadows all the other types of sensations. And these sensations are usually accompanied with other kinds of sensations, or there might be combinations of these kind of sensations. So the primary sensations that Dr. C.M. Bogus talks about being the primary sensations are burning, cramping, cutting, bursting, soreness, throbbing, thirst. Burning, cramping, cutting, bursting, soreness, throbbing, thirst. This would cover the objective aspects of the expression of sickness by the patient, which must include facial expression, demeanor, nervous excitability, sensibilities and sensitivities, restlessness or torpor, state of secretions and abnormal color of the discharges, if any. Fifth point would be the part affected, and it must also include the investigations in touch with the diagnosis. The collection of all these symptoms or expressions of the discomfort of the patient would give you a fair idea of the contour of the disease, or it would give you a totality of symptoms, and this totality of symptoms would eventually lead you to the simillimum. The whole purpose or the idea behind this whole exercise is to correct a prescriber's bearing. And this would eventually lead to a general idea or notion of the picture, the symptom picture, or helping or aiding physician in finding the genius of the case, the thread or expression that runs through and through a remedy or through and through a case would be the actual genius of the remedy. We are supposed to know a remedy as we know our friends. That means by the air or personality. In the following point, Dr. C.M. Boger focuses on getting to the natural image of the sickness by taking the disease picture as a whole rather than putting undue focus or undue stress upon particular symptom or expression, and in that way distorting the complete symmetry of the case. So we are supposed to take the disease or disease picture or the sickness as a whole. Also, this is immediately followed by the point that there are certain effects which must be given more importance because of its prominent, prompt nature. In that case, it will be part and parcel of the whole. Okay, so we are not completely turning the balance, we are rather giving it a balanced orientation. So up until now, we have seen what is to be cured in a disease or what is to be treated in a case, and we have seen how to define a problem. The next step comes in where we administer the remedy and it excites little or no reaction. Dr. C.M. Bogus tells us that if a well-chosen remedy excites little or no reaction at all, then that means either the remedy was not a simillimum, that means the remedy was faulty, or it wasn't completely based on the law of similars, or it could be that, which is just as likely as the first case, there would be underlying fundamental miasms, which would call for anti-miasmatic drugs. There's a strain, there's a thread, a general expression that runs through every pathogenetic symptom complex of a drug. This is called the genius of the drug. Okay, and it is the job or ideal of a physician or a prescriber to give this genius of the drug its proper place in a prescription, invariably. In this scenario, where the general benefit derived from a dose of remedy lags, or it is not giving that much benefit as you thought it would give, then it is always better to get to give that remedy in the next potency, in the higher potency. So he is of the opinion that it is quite rare, it is almost impossible that deeply rooted dyscrasia would change its whole expression to resist the complete scale of well-indicated remedy. So the practical aspect would be, it is better to give the next or higher potency from the scale of the potencies of the remedy, rather than searching for new symptoms as the indicator of next drug. So the next drug must not be chosen until the new set of symptoms or the new symptom picture or the disease phase of the next drug takes on a fairly settled or definite form. Until then, you are supposed to repeat the dose or give remedy in the next higher potency. I hope that this content was helpful for you. The forward to synoptic key ends with the saying of Paracelsus. I hope you enjoyed this video and found the content helpful. If so, please do comment, because your comment keeps me going and it is very encouraging. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Do share with your friends and family. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click on the bell icon so that you get the recent updates. Stay safe, stay healthy.